Okay, so last time, before I was so rudely interrupted by my iPhone's internal memory, I was in the process of describing how I treat my meteorites, and I was able to fix the resolution on my camera and make it a little better, so you can see. These are Nantan iron nickel meteorites that I cut and polished myself. This was all one meteorite, and in the process of me grinding it in half, it broke into 4 or 5 major pieces, and so I sanded and polished each a piece of it, and you can see these are iron nickel. All the dark gray you see is iron, and you see that streak of nickel in it. Yeah, that vein of nickel you can see is brighter. And yeah, I was in the process of telling you, people will chemically treat these. They will soak them in oils or automatic transmission fluid, I've heard, to try and keep it from corroding. A lot of meteorites that have high nickel iron concentrations like this are completely unstable. The minute they're exposed to oxygen and moisture and relative humidity, they will begin to corrode and rust very fast. See, the outside of these are partially rusted. They've sat centuries, if not thousands of years, out in the atmosphere and been weathered, and the outside will rust, but that makes a barrier and protects the inside. But the minute you cut open fresh metal like I did and expose it, it will rust very rapidly unless you have it in a bag with desiccant. It's one of the hardships of being a meteorite collector. If you're wondering what this white stuff is on it, that is not part of the meteorite. That is extra dried cream that I had used. It got all on it, and it needs to be re-soaked in alcohol to clean it off. But I used a cutting cream to get a really fine, high-grade polish on these, and to give it just a nice luster and shine. So there's no scratch marks and swirl marks from where I cut. This is professionally prepared. On this particular one, I polished it on 2 sides to expose the internal matrix, and that's how it all looked on the outside. And you would never expect it to look like that on the inside. It's one of the joys of meteorite collecting and preparing samples. Yeah, they look just like normal rocks, like when you see it. Probably even uglier than some terrestrial rocks. But inside each one, there's just beautiful marks. Inside of chondrules, there's little bits of stones. Inside stony irons, it's like a stone with little metal flecks. This is an iron nickel, and you can see the iron and nickel veins. The little veins inside it are nickel. This one has a really good sample of a nickel vein. You can see it clearly. It's brighter color than the rest of it. It's right there, right in the center, kind of. It's a nickel vein in the iron. But yes, so that's how I prepare my meteorites and sample them. In the process of hunting down in Goodwills and thrift shops and Salvation Armies, finding shadow boxes that I could seal these in, and display cases that are suitable, like my palisite. They're hard to come by though, and when I do find them, I swoop them up. And yeah, I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket.